So you've now seen Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, Evil Dead Redo Boogaloo.
Redo Boogaloo. Yeah, the 2013 remake. Yeah. I haven't seen Evil Dead Rise. Yeah, the 2021
I haven't
or
seen
whatever
that
it
either.
is. Yeah.
And you've seen Army of Darkness?
No.
Oh, we're rectifying that.
Okay.
Well, this is a B movie, and we're gonna talk about it. But we should preamble first.
I think we need to get a little bit American in our talk.
Give me some sugar, baby.
I think we need to make some amendments to the Movie Men Constitution. I think maybe some guidelines about the type of films that can be put forth. Just some restrictions. Just some, Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what'd you watch this week?
Well, starting now and working backwards, I saw Army of Darkness. Okay. Well, hello and welcome to the Movie Man Podcast.
We're the B team, baby.
Yeah, and by B team, we mean the B team,
the Bruce Campbell team.
Yeah. Well, yeah. We are. There's sort of two different teams on this podcast, two different dynamics, two different groups. It's like Pete and I, which is like the OG Movie Men podcast. Yeah. And then there's you and me, which is but there's never been an episode with just you and Pete.
I have pitched it to him.
Yeah.
Because I lent him like my entire Arnold Schwarzenegger collection on his request.
Yeah.
And he's I don't think he's even watched one of them. But at one point he did ask me, like, you want to watch an Arnold film? And I think he was doing it in jest because it was my birthday, and there was like he was like teasing because there was a secret birthday thing I didn't know about, and he was like trying to
your 40th. Yeah.
But when he asked, I was like, yeah, sure. Did you want to like record something for it or just hang out and have fun?
Yeah. Do you know why he will never agree to an episode with just the two of you?
He thinks the chemistry would be awful?
No, who's going to edit it and upload it and create the thumbnail and
That's your job.
Initial impressions.
You're the editor.
Initial impressions.
I go first.
Army of Darkness. Yep, you go first.
Yeah. So this is Sam Raimi, Bruce Campbell, very B movie. Look, this isn't a masterpiece. I'll admit it right out the gate. It's not going to score high on most people's lists.
Yeah.
If they're being honest with themselves. But it's fun. It's got kind of that Three Stooges slapstick humor. It's got a lot of goofy nonsense. They were probably high a couple times while writing and filming.
Sure.
And
as you do.
This is I've had a long week since last Friday. Like, I had a big fundraiser.
Yeah.
Planning for and helped and ran, and then I had a lot of work cleaning up after that at the beginning of the week, and then the last 2 days I spent driving 2 hours to the city to help run a training course for work. Okay. And then drive home 2 hours each day just to wake up the next morning and drive back. So I did that twice.
Bring this home. So what are we talking about?
I'm exhausted.
Okay.
This is a great turn your brain off. Don't think too hard about it. Just enjoy the gags and the goofiness and have fun. And that's what it is. It's It's just to turn your brain off and have fun kind of flick, and it's fun.
Before I give you my initial impression, what mode are you in right now? Are you in like ready to defend? You're like, you're going into this going, okay, I have an assignment ahead of me. Like I'm gonna have to.
If you hate it, I don't really care. Like,
Yeah.
this is when it comes to B movies in general.
Yeah.
People are either going to like them
They're
or hate them.
divisive.
They're extremely divisive. Like I enjoy some B movies, like Evil Dead and Army of Darkness. But then I've seen some, like my brother bought this movie called The Sasquatch one time.
Okay.
And it was awful. Like half the movie was B-roll of them walking through the woods. It was just garbage.
Yeah.
Right? This is fun.
Okay.
I like this, but I could see how some people wouldn't like there was a point in this film where you're like, I don't even know what the hell's going on. What the hell is going on? And I'm just sitting there laughing my head off because it's it's just a funny, goofy thing.
So my initial impression.
Yeah. What's your initial impression?
This is leaps and bounds better than Evil Dead 2.
Okay.
This is a better film. Don't get me wrong, this is a garbage film. but
Okay.
it's more entertaining, I think. It's more, I think Evil Dead 2 to me felt like this weird, not quite an identity crisis film, but it was just weird. It had like a foot in two different genres, right? It was like one foot was still firmly planted in sort of horror, but the other foot was firmly planted in comedy and satire.
Yeah.
And so it was a little like, I don't know. There was something about it that just didn't really quite work for me. This one pretty much has both feet firmly planted in comedy.
Yes.
It never tries to scare you.
No. There's not a single jump scare in it.
No. And so don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm going to talk about some issues that I have with it, or some complaints, or maybe just some observations that are like me observing things that are like, was that the choice to make?
Okay.
You know, but ultimately, I had more fun watching this than I did Evil Dead 2. And I will also say, just to sort of wrap up my initial impression, I think this is a better film than Men in Tights. Because I feel like this is a comparable film to Men in Tights.
Okay.
It's a very similar kind. It's a period piece. It's meant to be goofy and dumb and stupid.
There's a few gags
whatever.
on other stories, like there's a whole Gulliver's Travels.
There's a Gulliver's Travel thing that happens. Yeah, and but I enjoyed this more than I enjoyed Robin Hood Men in Tights. So yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
let's dig in.
Let's do it. So I'll get one thing out of the way.
Sure.
And it's a little bit of, I'm going to say it's a gripe. And I don't dislike this part of the film per se. But I do think it feels weird. Like it comes across as a little disjointed, and it was sort of the part of the film where I looked at you and I was like, I don't even understand what's going on. The entire second act of this film,
like the
from
windmill and
the time he
cemetery.
leaves the castle to the time that he gets his hands on the book,
Right. Okay.
there's really no plot. It's kind of just a series of gags. It's just Bruce Campbell being put into a situation where we're going to watch 5 minutes of slapstick and then without really too much connective tissue, we're then going to transition into another gag with more slapstick, right? So whether it's him fighting miniature versions of himself or him trying to get his face back to normal after getting sucked into the book, right?
Yeah.
Or, right, and they're just these, like, it's just a series of, it's just gimmick after gimmick after gimmick.
It's their attempt at creating a quest sort of narrative and feel like.
Yeah, but there's no real narrative that's
but like
during it.
It's kind of, they're trying to create kind of the archetypical hero's journey.
Yeah.
And in the hero's journey, the hero needs to face some kind of struggle. And so they're like, okay, well, he's going on a quest. He can't just show up at the graveyard. Like, you can't cut.
Right.
There's something needs to happen between him leaving the other horsemen and getting to the book. So
for sure.
For sure. Does it feel shoehorned in? Yeah, it's shoehorned
filler,
in for sure.
It's funny filler.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, like it's funny. Yeah. I enjoy it. But it is really substanceless.
Yeah. The only headcanon I have is there's, just before he gets to the windmill, he's chased by the evil.
Yeah, whatever that,
right.
The POV camera Evil Dead classic shot.
So I headcanon it as in Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2, when we get that shot, usually when that evil kind of subsides or kind of ceases to pursue whoever it's after, some sort of crazy crap happens.
Sure.
Right? So that's my kind of hand wave.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that makes sense.
But like, it's all really goofy nonsense.
It's goofy over the top. It is the more over the top section of the film.
Like, he gets tripped up by the little hymns and gets his face put on top of the stove and he can't remove it. Yeah. Because raw meat sticks to hot things.
And then he does and then, which, I mean, is possible, right?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have an issue with the fact that his face was stuck to the thing. It was more like when he does pry it off with the ash scooper.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know if that's meant to be a funny pun.
I never thought about
it's literally a shovel for removing ashes, and that's his name.
That's what he did. Yeah.
But there's not a burn mark on his face. Like, his face is completely intact.
Shortly after, he chugs boiling water.
Yeah.
And he can speak just fine.
And he's fine. He's not. Yeah. So, I mean,
he's a typical 90s action hero.
There's that.
Doesn't get hurt.
That's a slight grievance.
Yeah.
That I have.
Yeah. Yeah. And you won't. I'm not going to be defending any of that. It's B-movie nonsense. It's slapstick.
I will also say, and I'm calling total bullshit on this, the man has still not received any medical attention for the fact that his hand has been cut off.
Duct tape.
I mean, here's the question, though. So this is a genuine question that I had, and I don't understand the reason for doing this. The film, at the start of the film, they sort of, do a quick little recap of Evil Dead 2.
Right.
But they retcon and change.
Oh yeah, they
how
do
his hand was
sort of
removed.
Hand wave reboot a little bit.
Yeah, how his hand was removed. Because in this, they say that he cut it off with a chainsaw, and he doesn't cut it off with a chainsaw in Evil Dead 2. I don't think, right?
Yes, he does.
No, I don't think so. Because he has to go get the chainsaw as an attachment.
No, he cuts it off with the chainsaw.
What does Ash cut his hand off with in Evil Dead 2?
He cuts it off with the chainsaw because we were joking about how it would work, but it would be really freaking messy. It wouldn't be a clean cut.
He does. Okay.
Yeah.
Cuts his right hand off with a chainsaw. All right. For some reason, I remembered it as being something else.
Oh, you mean like an electric kitchen knife?
The electric knife? No. No, I knew it wasn't that because you take great issue with that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. There
So I
are
rescind
moments
that.
when he's got like an axe, or there's an axe about, and I could.
Yeah, and I wondered, or like we had discussed, and I guess that was just like us talking about different things that would have worked, but we had discussed like a meat cleaver,
Yeah.
and we had discussed like a number of different things, and so yeah, I don't remember it being a
muddied the
chainsaw,
memory.
but yeah, okay, all right, so it
Yeah.
was, all right,
Yeah.
well, fine, fine.
So what gags like stood out to you as like the funniest? I want to know what worked for you in this film.
The gags. I mean, in a vacuum, they're all great.
Right.
I think any time that a gag feels weird is when you're trying to view it as a part of the whole, like, as a part of the bigger picture of the film,
Sure.
right? And you're like, really? Now this is happening? And so that's when some of it feels odd. But on its own, I mean, the little Ash, him fighting the miniature versions of himself, on its own is really funny. You know, following what came before and preceding what comes after is kind of dumb. But on its own, it's really funny. I think the gags that I found the funniest were just like simple, not even some of the visual gags, because the film has a lot of visual gags, but it wasn't even those. It would just be sort of like one-liners, not even necessarily from Ash, but just from like either from the Army of Darkness
Right.
soldiers, or from, you know, the civilians
The
or
little
the
funny
soldiers.
quotables.
Yeah, just the little moments that are like, you know, people almost in a meta way remarking on the absurdity of the situation and of the, you know, I mean, I think if the question is what gag or what one-liner was the funniest from Ash, and this was one that I called, but I think the execution of it was still beautiful, which was that Ash was not going to remember the incantation.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's funny. That's funny. But it's actually almost funnier to me when he's reporting back to the wise men.
Right.
And he's like, you know, I
said it.
Yeah. He's
I
like,
said
did
mostly.
you say it? Yep. Yeah. That's basically what I said. Well, did you say it exactly? Okay, I might not have said every single syllable, but that's basically what I said, right?
Yeah.
Like to me, that was funny, and funny that they brought it back and he used the same like word for word quote when telling the story at the end of the film when he's
present.
back at S-Mart. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh man. I really liked the skeleton hand gag, the very Three Stooges bit. I think that's pretty that's classic.
I mean, I liked the Army of Darkness in general.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's a lot. You can tell that, you know, for a 1992 film, it's pretty low budget because the majority of the effects, I believe what they're doing when you see sort of a wider action shot of a skeleton moving, I believe the technique that they're using is what's called rotoscoping. I could be wrong. There could be one or two other different techniques that they've used.
It could be stop motion,
but it
too.
looks like rotoscoping to me, and it doesn't hold up, right? Like it looks janky. It would have looked janky.
There's shots where they're kind of pulled back a bit. You can see 3 or 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
And they're like when they're dropping a homemade bridge so they can batter and ram the gates. That shot looks a little janky. Yeah.
It's essentially a very similar technique to what they used for the Rancor in Return of the Jedi.
Yes. Yeah.
And it doesn't look good, right? It looked okay in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
But
in the early 90s, it probably looked great.
Well, I think even in the early 90s, it probably felt a little low budget. But, you know,
still more believable.
But at the end of the day, but when it's not a wide shot, because there are a couple of shots where it's just like it's a medium shot or it's a close up,
or crowd shot,
and they are puppets at that point, like they're actually physically tangibly there, and they look great.
Oh yeah,
like they look great and they move great.
Yeah,
so
they're not like. I would say they're not like Jim Henson Studio believable.
No, I wonder if they're Stan Winston, though.
But the way that they intermix the real people with them makes it extremely passable.
Yeah.
Like you realize what's going on because they're not super animated. There's a few shots where they'll have they'll specifically be kind of a skeleton will be the key image of the shot, and its head will move, and its mouth will move, and then its head will move again, or it'll raise a sword.
Yeah,
and those in those moments they're spending more time to puppeteer it properly. But when you're seeing 50 to 70 undeadites, then half of them are in the background, and they're humans dressed up as deadites running across, but the ones up close are puppets intermingled with some more actors dressed up.
So they are it looks like Stan Winston is the guy that Stan Winston's company is the one that did this. Okay. Which I'm unfamiliar. I don't know. So perfect. So Stan Winston, I'll tell you. So Stan Winston is iconic in the industry. He's done a lot of like monster effect, like gory effects back in like the Friday the 13th and the Nightmare on Elm Street kind of era.
Sitting in the horror genre a bit.
But he's the guy behind the effects in things like Alien. He's the guy behind Predator.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
He's the guy behind...
So he's no slouch.
No, he's the guy behind the... like the effects in like Terminator 2, right? Yeah. Like when you see the T-800 walking and it's the stuff like that. Jurassic Park, right? So like although ILM did a lot of the visual effects in that, I'm pretty sure Stan Winston's behind like the big T-Rex. Animatronic T-Rex. Yeah. He did some stuff. They're behind Small Soldiers, Inspector Gadget.
Right. Okay. I get the picture.
Yeah, lots of stuff. Yeah. So.
Yeah. No slouch. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, and
big name.
And I'm not saying these were bad. I don't think they have said that at all, and I think that's clear.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if Jim Henson's probably like the gold standard.
For puppets.
This guy's probably like just one step below, and that's what this is. It's still really good.
Yeah, well, and I mean, we're going to get into this when we talk about the what did you watch this week thing. But it's we've already talked about the fact that I'm watching Star Wars with my mom right now.
Yeah.
And so in Empire. My mom's a massive, grew up on the Muppets, grew up on Sesame Street, and is a diehard fan to this day. And she was, I as Yoda's on the screen, I said, "Who do you think that is?" And she's like, "Well, it sounds like Fozzie Bear." And I said, "Yeah, it's Frank Oz." And she's like, "Yeah, well," and I said, because at this point in time, and I mean even today, but especially at that point in time in 1980, the Jim Henson Company is the only name in the game, right? Like they are. You need a puppeteered 3-foot tall Jedi master. You're getting the Henson Company.
He's the gold standard.
Yeah.
Sounds like this guy was probably around. What was his name?
Stan Winston.
Stan was probably around, but still.
Sure.
Gold standards.
Yeah.
If you can get the gold standard, you get
them.
You get Jim Henson.
Yeah. You get the guys that did Labyrinth.
Yeah.
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 So, what did I really like about this movie? It's only an hour and 21 minutes long.
Yep. Short.
I
Sweet.
appreciated that.
Yeah, they didn't try and drag. They didn't try and drag the story out.
No, and I mean,
they could have. Like, they could have made that hero's journey to get the book.
They could have made
longer.
the second act longer. They could have added one or two more gags in there and sort of bloated the story.
Another obstacle or two for him to overcome.
There's no part of the film that drags. It's well paced.
Mm-hmm.
There's no stupid long filler exposition stuff. Like even the stuff I'm the type of person who would not enjoy the first act of this film. Cuz it's medieval, it's period stuff, it's, knights and soldiers and kings and squires talking politics and kingdom stuff and and whatever else, and that's typically not something I like.
Right.
But I never tuned out. Like they keep it moving fast enough, and I wonder if a big part of that is the presence and the inclusion of a modern day person.
I was just gonna say, I feel like Ash whitewashes a lot of that.
Whitewashes?
That's
probably not the right
not in the racist term, in the term that it washes over.
Oh, okay.
Like the way that,
overpowers a lot of that.
Yeah, like because all the people from the medieval time are speaking, "Thou art shalt the like."
And he's more, look, dude.
And he's not even like, look, dude. He's like, give me some sugar, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, cut the crap, man. What's the line? It's like,
shit, Jack shit.
You got Jack and shit, and Jack just left or something like that. It's like that, like all of a sudden you're just, it like pulls you away from that sort of noble sensibility, that Arthurian tale sensibility.
It surprises me. I'm about to say two things, and I think one of them will surprise you. It surprises me that, factoring in how long it takes to make a film, not when a film comes out, but like, when you begin production and when a director actually becomes attached to a film.
Sure.
7 years later, 7 years, maybe 6 years after this thing comes out, this is the guy they've got doing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so
it's a weird pick for Spider-Man.
Sam Raimi. Yeah. So it's a little like that. I'm like, really? Like, this is the guy? This is the guy you get.
He's got these 3 B movies to his credit.
So he releases 4 films between this and Spider-Man. But looking at them on IMDb, I don't know that they're
any better.
Like Spider-Man, like second to none, is the biggest film at that point in time of Sam Raimi's career.
Yeah.
The highest production value,
easily.
The biggest budget, the biggest, like they there's no two ways about it. The studio, Sony and Columbia Pictures, took a chance on Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
Right? Like he wasn't a tested and
he's not
true.
an unknown.
No.
Like by that point in time, these films are probably his best known.
Sure.
And they are like major cult classics.
Yes, but
like
they're
major
also
cult classics now. They were major cult classics then.
Yes, but they're also not the type of thing that you're looking to in terms of what is the tone, feel, and showcase of an ability to handle a budget that we're looking for with Spider-Man.
Yeah. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to be a kind of a fly in the wall of the boardroom when they're pitching names and his name comes up.
So that's the thing that surprises me, but the thing that will probably surprise you, and it surprised me a little bit too. Obviously in this film, like the character of Ash Williams is it's a hammed up, goofy character, right? He's not meant to be serious. He's not meant to, he's saying things like, "Give me some sugar, baby," right? Like he's a caricature of a character. Having said
you
that,
tried to kill me. Now you want to kiss me. Blow, baby.
Blow. Having said that, I think this is the film that convinced me that Bruce Campbell is a good actor.
Ah, very cool.
Because I was watching it and it was in two senses. One is, none of his line delivery in this convinced me of that, because again, all of the line delivery is intentionally hyped up, over the top, goofy, ridiculous, exaggerated, almost at times like Jim Carrey, like 90s Jim Carrey-esque, right? Has a lot of that like Ace Ventura-ism to it. But there are some moments, more serious moments in the film where just sort of his facial acting, like his reactionary facial expressions to situations and
do that eyebrow
contemplation
thing where one goes real high.
and like whatever he's doing, he was doing really well. Yeah. And I saw true acting in those moments. And then, to be completely frank with you, even in the there are some bizarre, over the top, hyped up, he's fighting with miniature versions of himself. He's doing whatever it is. He's had a skeleton arm thrust down his throat. He's whatever. And I'm like, but he's selling it.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and a lot of when he's fighting miniature versions of himself, if you think about the creation of that scene, he's essentially all the miniature versions of himself
fighting with thin air.
All the miniature versions of himself, he's got to act with nothing in front of him.
Yeah.
And the normal version of Ash, normal size Ash, has got to fight against a whole bunch of miniature things. Like nowadays, when they've got the green screen, they can usually have some sort of
markers.
Green screen. They'd have little green screen props on sticks.
Yeah.
Or
to give you line of sight at the very least, and sort of a perspective
or something.
On yeah. So yeah, I was surprised about that, and I think at several points throughout this film, I saw in Bruce Campbell what you thought you were going to see, but were ultimately a little disappointed in Evil Dead 2 with the sentient hand scene.
Right.
Because to bring the listener up to speed, you remembered that with rose tinted glasses.
Oh, definitely.
You remembered it very fondly, and that that the man really just convinces you that the hand is moving on its own, and and then we watched it, and you were like, it didn't live up to my memory.
Yeah. Still good, but not as great as
but not this
made it to
master class in acting type. But I think he really hones in on that in a couple of moments in this film. So that impressed me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a moment where he starts making his new hand, and you're kind of like,
what the hell is even happening?
You can realize what's going on, but you're like, you seemed really flabbergasted. And I turned to you and I started making Tony Stark
did it in a cave.
Made this in a cave with a box of scraps. But what was your feeling? Did you kind of have the same feel about that you kind of have had mentioned about some other stuff, or was it
in what sense?
Well, you were saying that in terms of the windmill part of the movie, where you were you had no idea what was going on, but you still really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So that was another moment where I was like, oh, he's not he's not buying this. He's not enjoying this scene.
I mean, I was a little disappointed. Like, I didn't realize, if you had asked me to describe Ash Williams throughout this film, I would have assumed that he goes throughout the film with a chainsaw on his hand. Because to me, that's like the image of the character.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure from any of the like promotional art that I've seen, we go back to I would assume we go back to the chainsaw for Ash versus Evil Dead. Because that's who he is. Right, as a guy, or like if you're, if Ash shows up in a Mortal Kombat game as a playable character, or he shows up wherever, it's with the chainsaw.
Yeah.
In that was it Broforce game that we played?
Yeah. He's got a chainsaw.
He's got a chainsaw.
Yeah. There's an Evil Dead video game, and he's got a chainsaw.
And he's got a chainsaw.
Yeah.
And so I mean, I think I was disappointed. Because ultimately, like, the hand, they don't utilize the hand, right? They show you that this hand has extreme crushing power.
Yeah.
During that, like, it getting retrofitted onto his arm thing, right? They, like, he takes, like, a metal cup or something and just crushes it
easily.
But that doesn't really become a thing.
It doesn't come into play later.
No. And so, I mean, ultimately, I think...
the most you ended... In terms of, the crushing force isn't utilized for the rest of the film, but sort of the dexterity of it is.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So I mean, I think the decision to do it is kind of just out of that it was easier, because for that moment forward, they could just put Bruce Campbell in a armored glove. For the film and done, right?
Yeah.
I understood what was happening. It was more just sort of the, like, I don't know. I mean, it's sort of just an extension of the ridiculousness that he had a chainsaw on there in the first place, right?
Yeah.
Like, it makes sense for the universe that we're playing in, because there are no rules and there's nothing tethering us to believability or reality.
Yeah. Yeah, there is like, they're not pulling the idea that he can create something out of thin air, because he was able to adapt the chainsaw to somehow work on his nub.
Well, all the knowledge that he's gained working at S-Mart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, the man's got some hidden skill sets.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Chemistry.
He should be working
chemistry books in his trunk of his
he should
car.
be working somewhere other than
S-Mart.
Yeah. In the housewares department.
Yeah, he's obviously got some mechanical know-how.
He's got mechanical know-how. He knows his way around firearms, right? Yeah. Like, he's able to detail. It's not just a shotgun that he's got at the beginning. Like, he's able to give off the specs of the weapon. And I mean, that's if you get held up on that about the character, then you're really not getting any further, right? Because, like, ultimately, if you think about it, even Ash's confidence, his cockiness in this film doesn't make a ton of sense, because 24 hours ago, he was just an S-Mart employee that was going to a cabin for the weekend with his fiance, or his girlfriend or whatever. And so
now all of a sudden he's a blowhard.
And so now all of a sudden he is an action star. And so that's a little, like, bizarre. But then also the fact that, like, he gets, this film starts and he doesn't act like he, like 2 seconds ago, he's just come through a portal from the events of the previous film, right? Like, he's not tired. He's not, he's just, like, he's confused about where he is.
Yeah.
But there's been, like, a hard reset to his character, right?
A little bit.
Everything's been kind of forgotten.
There's definitely been, like, you could call it a softer, I would say it's more of a soft reset, because there's a few things about the character that a lot of things about the character.
Yeah, I mean, he's missing a hand. He's,
Yeah. His personality's shifted a little bit. A few of the story details have shifted slightly as in his retelling. And I think that's one of the really clever things about this film is how it ends. Because he leaves the castle with the potion.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we cut to Ash in S-Mart
telling a story about his weekend.
About, yeah, man, this crazy crap happened to me over the weekend, and I could have stayed. I thought about staying, but I drank the potion, and now I'm back here.
Yeah,
and we don't see his hand at this point.
No,
so he's just blowing smoke.
Yeah,
he's just telling a story to his buddy at work until he asks him the question.
Yeah. Did you say the words properly?
Did you remember to say all the words properly? And he gives the same BS answer.
I may not have said every syllable. And then that's basically what I said.
And then the evil dead comes. Yeah. The deadites appear, and and we find out, okay, it's not all, like, some of it could have been him hyped up, but obviously some of it wasn't.
Right.
Because he's got the metal hand again, and he's so it's
and obviously there's scars on his face, right?
Yeah,
like
he's had a rough weekend, one way or the other.
It does make it feel like the events, like that Evil Dead 2 happened on a Saturday, or like a Friday night leading into Saturday, and that like he probably says the incantation, gets back to his time Sunday afternoon with just enough time to get back to the city, and then this is the next morning. It's like this is Monday morning at work.
He's just dropped into his house or
or whatever it is. But yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's garbage.
Yeah.
But it's good garbage.
So garbage.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't really gotten to like what were some of the things that really didn't work for you.
I mean, as a whole, like, none of the individual elements of it are like pinpointable as something that didn't work. Just as a whole, it's not my, like Robin Hood Men in Tights was not my type of thing. Evil Dead 2 is not really my type of thing. This isn't really my type of thing. It's just that sort of like over the top. It's not. It's humor, but it's very lowbrow humor.
Oh yeah.
Like it's not.
There's not a lot of clever jokes.
Like
in this,
there are straight up comedy movies that. Like I would even say that as goofy and over the top as something like Ace Ventura is, I think Ace Ventura is probably leaps and bounds more sophisticated in its comedic approach than something like this. And so I mean, any part of it that doesn't work for me is just that this type of goofy comedy is not my type of comedy, right? It's the same reason why I don't really do a lot of like stoner comedy, right? Like the Pineapple Express,
right?
Super Bad, like that kind of comedy is not really my type of thing. Or there's the stoner comedy genre, and then there's like what was the where was I going to go with that? I don't know, but there's just certain comedy genres where I'm like, oh, sex comedies, right? Like the American Pie movies and stuff like that, right? Like, yeah, they're iconic. They especially, the whole like This One Time at band camp, like, it is what it is, and sure, there's some entertainment value there. But I don't find them funny. And this kind of harks back to what you and I were talking about with the Jojo Rabbit review, right? Which is just that, like, my brand of comedy is a slightly more sophisticated, I really like sarcastic comedy, smart sarcasm I really like, and sort of like backhanded jokes where it's like, it's not sort of a direct, set up punchline,
Right.
set up punchline, which these are very set up punchline.
Yeah. I don't think I would classify any of the humor in this as lowbrow, though. Like, to me, lowbrow humor is kind of that stoner sex, really low hanging fruit, dirty joke humor. That's lowbrow.
Okay.
Right? This
So
is
maybe
kind of-
low hanging fruit comedy?
I wouldn't even call it kind of low hanging fruit. 'Cause-
Slapstick. I'm not a big slapstick
Yeah,
guy.
it's slapstick. There is a cleverness to it. It's not super smart or sophisticated.
Yeah,
I'll
I
give
mean-
you that. But like, it's like, this is kind of like
Don't say what I
not-
think you're going to say.
not as good, but kind of like Mr. Bean.
Yeah, see, and I disagree entirely, because the reason why I disagree,
It's not as well done.
Like
I'll give you that,
Mr. Bean
but-
is 100% slapstick. Like, that's all, because the character barely talks.
Yeah.
It's all physical comedy. But it is, I mean, Mr. Bean is praised for, like, the sheer intelligence behind, like,
There's a cleverness to the
It is
jokes.
the most sophisticated slapstick out there, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a real.
Yeah, and it draws heavily from like the Three Stooges, which it's simple humor,
Yeah.
but there's a cleverness to it. This
Like
this is
like your
sim-
Buster Keaton or
Yeah.
your Charlie
yeah,
Chaplin.
this is simple humor,
Yeah.
but there's some cleverness to it, right?
Yeah.
Like the whole fight with his mini selves.
Yep.
It's slapstick. It's simple gags,
Yeah.
but there's a cleverness to each of the little things,
Yeah.
right? Like, yeah.
I think this feels to me whereas like Mr. Bean feels more like it belongs in that like Buster Keaton,
Right.
Charlie Chaplin thing. This
Mr. Bean is miles better than
Yeah.
this. I'm not saying this is on par with Mr.
this
Bean.
feels
I'm
to
just
me
saying
sort of like
it's
a
similar genre of comedy.
this feels like a live action adjacent to like a Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote cartoon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Where it's just, or like a Bugs Bunny gag.
yeah,
type of thing.
Absolutely. And they even like with the book face getting sucked into the
Yeah.
book.
It's very cartoony.
That's a very cartoony Bugs Bunny
Yeah.
thing. And I would kind of put that in the same vein of comedy as Mr. Bean.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Right? There's a
I think we
cleverness and a,
agree.
and a humor
I think
to it.
we're
Yeah.
yeah. I like I think for the most part we agree. There's probably a couple of differences that we have an opinion here, but we're down to like splitting hairs.
It's definitely not lowbrow. Though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Because I don't think, outside of Ash being a bit of a womanizer,
A bit.
there's no dirty jokes,
No.
right? It's all clean humor.
Blow.
Yeah, but he's saying that he's not saying like, give me a
No,
BJ.
no.
He's saying,
No.
Get
Yeah,
out
I
of
know,
here.
I know.
right?
I know.
Blow off.
All right. Is there anything else you want to?
I'll say one of the things, like there is something that doesn't work for me, and I would say it's like the final duel between him and himself, Ash and his evil Ash.
Right.
That sword fight feels kind of janky to me. It's like, I don't know how well versed Bruce Campbell is in sword stage combat.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
it doesn't really show. It kind of shows.
The choreography isn't top tier choreography.
Well, this is the moment where like choreography is really intentional. Everything else is like one hit down, one hit down.
But
so there's not a lot of choreography needed.
Having said that, I do think there was a moment when watching the third act where I thought to myself, this is a well shot. Like this is a big scale
it's
battle.
a big climax battle,
and it's well shot. Like
it's no Helm's Deep, but it's got that vibe. It's got that vibe.
You know, that's an unfair standard to hold anything to. But yeah, no, it's well done. Yeah, it's well done.
Yeah, no, yeah, and I'm not bashing the whole climax of this film. I'm just saying that sword fight feels, like he's waving two swords around with just kind of flicking his wrist, and it's like,
but I think that's part of it. Like I think it's intentionally supposed to be kind of, this is the same guy that throws a fork across the room with precision. And it goes into the wood and hits its mark perfectly, like 20 feet away.
And it doesn't stop me from enjoying the film.
No,
I was just
as
I was watching it this time, I was kind of like, oh, that's kind of
jank.
Like you thought why wouldn't they have spent a little more time choreographing this and making it a little bit more entertaining? But time and budget and money.
Maybe is what it is.
They probably didn't have an actual fight choreographer on scene, so they're making it up as they go.
Okay, on a scale of 0 to 10.
One last thing.
Okay, all right.
Hang on. One last thing.
Strike that, reverse it.
So we started this journey off with a film you made us watch.
Evil Dead
Halloween.
2013, yeah.
There was a post-credit scene in that.
Yep.
Does that post-credit scene make more sense now?
Like just because he says groovy in it?
Well, he says groovy and his face changes. He becomes a deadite looking.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. You didn't notice that?
No.
Yeah, watch it again.
I'll have to watch it again.
Watch it again, because his face turns into like a deadite ash. And I think that is a callback to this movie where there's a good ash and there's a deadite ash.
I mean, what is the timeline? Because that movie came out in 2013. Ash versus Evil Dead. What's the 2015? Okay, so yeah, this would have been the most recent Evil Dead property at the time of the 2013 one coming out. So yeah, I mean, it must be a callback. Yeah. Oh yeah, see, and he's got his chainsaw back in the show. I am curious to watch the show now. I said that I might be curious to watch the show when we completed all of this. And I've seen the first season. He's got multiple.
He's got both
attachments. I am curious just to see like how he gets sucked back in, right? Like why there's more story to tell.
Yeah. I think so I've seen the first season.
Yep.
I saw the first season like when it was released. So, and after, I don't know what happened.
Oh, there's 3 seasons.
Life happened. Yep. I never seen the second or third season. But the first season was fun. It was very much like Evil Dead, what we just watched, in terms of how it was written and the humor.
Right.
And how did he get sucked?
No, don't tell me.
No, I'm just kind of sort of first impressioning it.
Oh, okay.
Without spoiling. Like, I feel like they did it pretty rushed, kind of like get the story moving with the character everybody wants to see.
Right.
But
we're back into it. Deal with it.
Yeah, but it all, even though it feels rushed, it did feel like kind of a natural progression. It wasn't forced.
Right. It feels like
rushed, but not forced.
It feels like this is a continuation of.
Yeah.
Like this is the same guy.
It doesn't pick up right after.
Well, no,
this,
obviously it's been.
But it feels like
20 years.
like, imagine if the end of this film was the beginning of the series.
Right.
Right? Like, he's hanging out in S-Mart, shooting the crap, and then all of a sudden, the Evil Dead is back.
Right.
Like, okay, that was... It feels a little bit like that. Just a little bit, I would say.
All right. Scale of 0 to 10, sir. How would you rank Army of Darkness?
Well, I'm going to give it the same thing I gave Evil Dead 2, which was an 8.
All right.
Yeah. I would say, for me... Well,
you have to you have to input the numbers here because I don't have my computer in front of me.
No, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. It's better than Evil Dead 2.
Okay.
So I will give it an Evil Dead 2. And okay, so if I'm inputting them,
which is interesting because I feel like when we watched Evil Dead 2, I think you thought that this one might not be as good.
Yes.
But you, having now watched it, you think it's maybe a little bit better.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. So my score was 7.5 overall.
Your score for your films was 7.5. Yeah.
Now with the change, 7.6.
7.6.
Micro change.
Yeah.
And what say you, sir, about the Army of Darkness?
So I gave Evil Dead 2 a 6.
You did.
I'm giving Army of Darkness a 7.1.
Oh, very nice. A 0.1.
0.1.
Interesting. Do you have a reason for your 0.1 and not like halfway?
Well, 7.5
you normally
feels like too much.
Okay.
But
a flat 7
it
is
also
not enough.
feels like it's more than just 1 point better than Evil Dead 2, right? So yeah, it's 7.1.
Okay.
I would say that this is a good film.
Right. That puts it up there with the other films I've made you watch.
Yeah.
Like the highest rank you've given any of my films is 7.9.
Yeah, this is the second best film you've made me watch.
Yeah. Third. You gave Prince of Thieves a 7.2.
Yes, if I scroll up, then I do
3.
see that. Yeah.
So that'll put your overall for my films I made you watch from a 6 to a 6.1.
Yeah. And your overall score of 6.8 doesn't change.
No.
Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Yeah. You're moving up.
Yeah.
You got some points.
I got one more trashy Bruce Campbell film to show you, and then maybe we'll get to something a little more classy.
A little more, yeah. Yeah. Cool. What'd you watch this week?
Yeah. Well, as I said earlier, not a whole lot.
Not a lot. You've had a busy...
busy. I did end up watching a little bit of
One Piece.
You
still on Cake Island?
Still on Cake Island. It's
Jeez.
a long arc.
Yeah.
It's so long.
Are you annoyed with it?
Oh,
Done?
there are a few arcs that are similar in length.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay, like I can feel the climax coming, and then all of a sudden they like throw another hook.
Right.
And it's like, oh, well, this complicates things in the terms of the story. I guess we're digging into this new story beat a little bit before the final fight. Because it always, like, it's an anime. Everything, well, it's a shonen anime. Usually shonen animes end with, like that's like Dragon Ball Z and One Piece and Naruto. You know, this archetype of a hero who's constantly getting stronger.
Right.
So the end of every story arc is usually him facing off against somebody who is stronger than him, and at some point throughout the fight, they unlock or show off this new power that they've been training or ability that they've learned. So, yeah, it feels like that fight is coming, but it's like... Okay, let's go.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
I'm ready to move on to the next story, but it's still I am still enjoying it.
Okay.
And then my wife and I started a new show called The Ambassador. on Netflix.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
I have not, but I'm familiar with.
It's been fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a pretty cool show. So like the premise of the show is this U.S. ambassador is supposed to go to some place in the Middle East, and she's really, really good at her job. She's like a no-nonsense former military person who's married to another ambassador person. And she ends up like last minute before she goes to her new post, gets sent to England.
Right. Okay.
And she's like, what the heck? I'm supposed to go here and do real work. Why am I going to cushy England?
Yeah.
And it turns out she's been what's the word? Not picked, but like she's one of a few options to replace the vice presidents. Because the vice presidents kind of gotten themselves into hot water, and they're going to kind of push them out of office before it comes to light in the media and replace them with somebody better. So they send her to England to kind of get her in the public view a little bit more, and also kind of tap her for VP. Also to kind of see if she's got what it takes, because there's a guy that works with whoever the ambassador is there, who's early in the show he's referred to a couple times as a kingmaker or a presidency king, because he's worked with former candidates that were presidents and vice presidents, and
right.
They want him to kind of secretly let them know if she's going to be any good. And there's a lot of crap happening that she's has to figure out and deal with, and it's fun. It's pretty entertaining. I'm enjoying it. And didn't really watch a movie till tonight, and I didn't get to finish it because I had to come here and watch Evil Dead. So tomorrow's a PA day, so my daughter wanted to watch a movie with us. So we started watching. She picked Ice Age, the most recent one. What was it called again? Something Impact, or I don't know. It's like the 7th Ice Age film.
Right.
They all start to meld together. But it's not bad. It's a animated Ice Age film. It's fun for what it is.
I was just looking up based on your, because I know it's Section 1 of the 25th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution that allows the cabinet to remove an acting president, or I assume also extends to vice president. So that's probably in your ambassador show.
I don't think they mentioned. I think the vice president is probably much more easily removed than the president.
Probably. Yeah.
Because even though you vote for the president, the usually the vice president
is assigned by the president.
The vice president is picked as a running mate, but you're not really voting for the vice president. You're voting.
Well, that's how it works nowadays.
You're not voting for the vice president. You're voting for the president, and sort of you kind of get an insight into the president's what choices the president is going to make, and their policies based on who they're running.
Do you know how it worked originally? Before, for the first three,
they threw apples into
elections?
the air, and whoever didn't catch it got removed from office.
No, so I think it was. I think it was maybe just the first or second election.
They flipped a coin.
I think Thomas Jefferson is the one that changed it. But no, it was like if like when John Adams was running against, that was. Are you okay?
I got a
tickle
in my throat.
I think because I might be getting this wildly wrong, but I think John Adams and Thomas Jefferson ran against each other. And John Adams won, and John Adams winning against Thomas Jefferson meant that Thomas Jefferson, the loser, became vice president, right? And so it was kind of like, you're both in office either way.
Yeah, you had to work with the opposition.
Yeah, just who answers to who.
Policy.
Yeah. Which
interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's truth to that.
Oh, there's definitely truth to the way that's how. Yeah, and then someone. I think
said you weren't sure though.
I think. Well, what I'm not sure about is if Thomas Jefferson and John Adams
if that
were opponents.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I know. Because John Adams was the second president, and then Thomas Jefferson was the third. And I think that's, I think that's how that panned out. So, yeah.
Interesting. What did you watch?
Empire Strikes Back. Jeez.
I never make comments when you do. It's weird when you make a comment. Why are you going to you draw attention to it?
Because yours are more boisterous than mine.
Well, you also have access
to What do you mean nobody's going to notice? Nobody's going to notice what? No one's going to notice.
Go on.
I think they'll notice. Yeah.
Nah, they won't.
Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
With my mom.
Fun.
Yeah. She liked it.
It's weird to me that she's never seen them.
She has. She's seen the original trilogy.
Right. Okay.
Not since the 90s.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
But I don't think, maybe she's seen snippets of Phantom Menace. Maybe.
Okay. That is weird that she hasn't seen the prequels, having a son who grew up in the time when they were coming out.
Yeah, but I mean, by the time Revenge, because what year did Revenge of the Sith come out? 2005?
Probably.
Right? So I was 13.
Yeah.
Right? I'd go to the theater with my friends. Mom doesn't need to watch that. Right? And so
sure.
So it's just not, wasn't something she needed to watch. Right? Or the kids all the time. You put a movie on the TV and you plop your kids down and you go do whatever housework or make phone calls or, do whatever.
Right.
Let the TV babysit your kids. Right. And so, it is what it is. But so she really enjoyed it and she's invested. She's in.
Nice.
Right. And she knows, she says, I'm excited to see the next one. She's like, even though I pretty much know where it's going, right? Because she remembers enough of it. Like, as we were watching Empire, she remembered...
Everything floods back.
She remembered the full, all of the Dagobah stuff she remembered, right? So, yeah. So watch that, and then finished the first season of Only Murders in the Building.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It's a 10 episode season, and it wasn't until episode 8, the end of episode 8, that I was sucked in.
Oh, it took you a while.
Took a bit. I wasn't disliking it, but I was just kind of it's not.
I feel you. It did take me 2 or 3 to get into it.
Yeah,
it didn't take me 8.
Wasn't. I was just kind of I was there's things there's this mystery happening, but I don't know how invested I really am in this mystery. And then the biggest thing for me was given who's in this, given the fact that 2 of the main 3 stars is the comedic duo of Steve Martin and Martin Short, I was it's not that funny.
It's not meant to be.
Well, but
there are funny moments,
I feel there are several scenes or several gags that I feel are supposed to be gags. It's supposed to be a funny line delivery from Steve Martin, and for me, it just wasn't landing. I'm yeah, okay, whatever. But then, I think it was episode 9 or episode 10. I was this is a hilarious episode. Right? So I don't know. I think it just, for me, the show took a little bit to find its footing.
Talking about it today.
But I'm excited, people. Right? Season 1 ends with a cliffhanger. And so I'm like,
a reveal
I'm
and
stoked.
of the killer,
a reveal
and
and a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm stoked.
I was talking about it today actually with some people. Somebody was sharing about how something about to the effect of like one of the craziest viewing experiences they've had in movie or television came from the show.
Oh, okay.
And he couldn't remember if it was the first or second season, but it was like the show starts and there's no sound.
It's first season.
Yeah.
There's a silent.
Yeah.
There's a
no sound
dialogue-free
and
episode.
He was like, "Oh, my speakers aren't working or something," and then it took him a second to realize, "Oh, I'm viewing what's happening from the perspective
of this
deaf character."
Yeah.
So I'm only seeing subtitles for what everyone's saying when he's looking at them.
Yeah.
Because he can read lips.
Yeah.
It
So it was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
That's a cool scene.
And that's it, I think. I think that's all. That's all I've watched.
So Star Wars with your mom. You said you're probably not going to do Chainsaw. You're at Empire Strikes Back. This is where Chainsaw.
Yeah, we're gonna
kicks in.
do. We're gonna do.
You're just gonna go normal,
Jedi
traditional.
next. Yep.
And then jump to 1.
Yep. Yep.
Go to 3, and then you're done.
No, I'm gonna show her
You're gonna do.
I'll show her the
Rogue One.
No, probably not.
No. Oh.
No. I'm gonna show her 7, 8, and 9.
You should show her Rogue One.
I mean,
you should do 3 and then Rogue One.
Well, maybe
because Rogue One is really good, and it ends with that epic Darth Vader hall scene.
Yeah, maybe. But I'm gonna show her 7, 8, and 9, especially now that we've gotten and again, you take announcements from Lucasfilm with a grain of salt, but we've got an announcement that episodes 10, 11, and 12 are going into production.
Sure.
And so, no, but I mean, but if they do, then great, right?
Sure.
Anyways, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all listed down below. We have a Patreon page where for less than a pop figure a month, way less than a pop figure a month,
less than a bag of milk.
yeah, that's a very localized reference.
Everybody buys milk.
Not in bags.
True.
That's like Ontario and I think parts of British Columbia, and that's it.
There are other parts in Canada that do it, don't
No.
Well, bag milk.
Yeah,
sticking with it.
Our milk comes in bags. Yeah.
Suck it, rest of the world.
Look it up. And merch.
Yeah.
We have a merch page. You can go on, buy t-shirts, water bottles, mugs, stickers.
Yeah. Christmas is right around the corner.
Yeah.
Get it now. It won't arrive to you if you're using, I don't know, does it use Canada Post? You might not get it before Christmas.
Well, it depends on where you live.
I get
Canada Post is not doing a lot of delivery. A lot of deliveries to the States.
Man,
I know.
You got a frog in your throat.
I do. They're not doing a lot of deliveries to the States or like the UK. So
they're not doing a lot of deliveries, period.
Probably a different.
They're on
Canada
strike.
Post, are they?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I haven't gotten mail in days.
Oh.
All week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Anyway, you can still buy our merch. It'll get there eventually.